Coming up, why a group of women released from prison for a rehab program are now heading back behind bars. Plus, Sarasota County Sheriff and District Superintendent continued their public feud. What could be next for the future of resource officers in Sarasota County schools? And it's the first day of summer, what we could expect in today's steamy forecast. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, ABC 7's Marla Spence has been looking into why a rehab program in Bradenton called Bradenton Bridge has closed. Here's her story.
It's a devastating day for about 35 women who had high hopes of transitioning back into normal life with the help of the Bradenton Bridge. This morning, a bus picked up the last group of women from the facility that's known for helping female inmates get their life back on track. Right now, those women are headed back to prison after the program was cut due to funding. Monica.
Sorry about that. We'll try to get back to that story as soon as possible. In other news today, a Punta Gorda woman pleading guilty to wire fraud. Holly Dustin accused of trying to manage and perform preservation services on various Fannie Mae foreclosed properties around Fort Myers using a fraudulent company and without Fannie Mae's consent. In total, Dustin submitted nearly 550 fake invoices to Fannie Mae, requesting over $145,000 in payment. Dustin now faces up to 20 years in federal prison. The feud between Sarasota County Sheriff and School Superintendent seems to be getting worse. Todd Bowden fighting back after Sheriff Tom Knight sat in front of county commissioners to say he was disgusted about the decisions made by the district's leadership. Bowden says Sheriff Knight is not doing his part when it comes to help keep students safe for the upcoming school year. The latest decision the sheriff is questioning is removing a school resource officer from Riverview High School's campus, which would leave the school with only one officer.
This astonishes me that their message to the community is always the safety and security of their children. And if you're going to do that and say that, you better operationally practice that.
The sheriff has withdrawn all funding for school safety and security. Last year, he committed $750,000 to the school resource officer program. And this year, his offer is to contribute nothing, absolutely nothing.
Sheriff Knight says he plans to sit down with school board at a special meeting on June 28th to talk about SROs. In the meantime, the district says an earlier meeting between the superintendent and other law enforcement agencies went well. Sarasota County School District officials say they spoke with Sarasota Police Chief Bernadette DePino this week and are close to reaching an agreement for SROs in middle and high schools within the city for the upcoming school year. They also discussed how to fill the need at elementary schools by August 13th. The superintendent also finalized a plan with Venice Police to provide 2 SROs for Venice High and another for Venice Elementary. Bowden plans to meet with Northport Police next week. Looking ahead in Manatee County, the 3 finalists for principal at Palmview Elementary School will meet with members of the community on Monday. That forum will be open to the public at the school from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The 3 finalists are Deborah Cook, the current assistant principal at Seabreeze Elementary, Tori Hicks, who's the assistant principal at Canaan Elementary, and Kathia Johnson, who's the assistant principal at Palmasola Elementary School. Happening today, it's the first day of summer, which means it's the longest day of the year. The summer solstice officially began at 6:07 this morning when the sun was at its highest and northernmost point in the sky. It also means your shadow will be the shortest it will be all year today, right now. People in the southern hemisphere, like Central and South America, will experience their shortest day of the year as they're now into the first day of winter. Weird to think about, but here we are.
It is. Well, forgive the pun, but I take solstice in this because, you know, the sun is as far north as it's going to go now. So at this point forward, it starts heading back south. Yeah. So that's good news. The bad news is the temperatures kind of lag behind by about 2 months, so the worst is yet to come in terms of heat and humidity. But we had a pretty nice start to the day, I guess. We had kind of humid conditions out there. The dew points were way up there, and winds off the Gulf waters are providing us with some very high feels-like temperatures this afternoon. But the sky was pretty nice as we started off the morning. Now some clouds have begun to roll in, and I think we're going to see some more showers around today. Mostly in inland areas, though. We kind of had our chance at morning showers for the most part near the coastline. A lot of the showers now moving inland. Up to the north, where there's a little trough of low pressure, we've been getting more persistent showers. In fact, even some special marine warnings up there in the Big Bend region. But locally, we're starting to see the showers beginning to build in a line in inland areas, moving toward the other coast. In fact, the other coast today is where the heaviest of the rain will be. Still, we have about a 30% chance of seeing some showers. Not great news on the red tide status. In fact, we'll probably see a special warning issued later on today, or an advisory anyway, regarding the red tide. Now in Minnesota, we have an intense report from Mote Marine spotters of red tide toxins in the air and respiratory irritation. And anywhere from about Siesta Key southward, we're at least in the moderate zone for irritation from red tide in the air. So not particularly good reporting today in terms of the red tide status. We'll have complete details on the forecast in just a second, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. President Trump is vowing to remain tough on border security after signing an executive order to keep families together. The move comes after days of insisting he could not fix the crisis by himself. ABC's Janae Norman is following the latest from Washington.
President Trump using immigration to rally his base in Minnesota. The crowd, obviously supporters of the president's get tough promises on illegal immigration, unfazed by his stunning reversal.
Today, I signed an executive order. We're going to keep families together, but the border is going to be just as tough as it's been.
That executive order keeping families together and also continuing his zero-tolerance policy of arresting illegal immigrants seeking asylum.
They're not sending their finest, that I can tell you. And we're sending them the hell back.
Faced with bipartisan backlash and public outrage, but previously insisting it was a problem he couldn't fix.
You can't do it through an executive order.
Then a 180, with one signature doing what he and his administration said he couldn't. The president now saying keeping families detained together while their cases are reviewed is, quote, the right thing to do.
I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated. So we're keeping families together, and this will solve that problem.
But House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi saying the problem is not solved.
Whether the children are incarcerated with their families or not, they should not be incarcerated. They're children.
And today the House is voting on two bills that will address border security and immigration. But at last check, there doesn't seem to be enough support for either measure to pass. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Before President Trump signed the new policy into effect yesterday, 3 major airlines said they would refuse to transport children who had been separated from their parents at the borders. American, United, and Frontier Airlines have all released official statements saying the administration's policy conflicts with their values. Experts say it's a tough policy to enforce because the government does not have to disclose the reason the children are flying. George and Amal Clooney are donating $100,000 to the Young Center for Immigrant Children's Rights. Their website says the center's goal is to change the immigration system so that children in immigration proceedings are recognized as children and their best interests are made a part of the decision-making process. The Clooneys join a number of celebrities who have recently criticized the Trump administration's zero-tolerance immigration policy. Remember to get the latest on breaking news across the country and here on the Suncoast, along with your First Alert weather forecast. Download our app. You can find it at your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the CDC says the number of U.S. adults smoking has now reached an all-time low. And later, the chilling 911 call involving the House of Horrors in California. What we're learning about the parents now facing a long list of criminal charges.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories, custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, on this first day of summer, it is positively summer-like, no doubt about it. Temperatures are going to be at or even maybe a degree or two above the average for this time of year. Sarasota temperature missing right now. It's been the reporting station there. The sensor has been a little bit flaky today, kind of coming in and out. But basically, judging by last hour and temperatures surrounding, I think we're probably looking at about 89 degrees as an air temperature at the airport. Otherwise, 88 degrees in Bradenton, 88 in Venice, 85 Longboat Key, Lakewood Ranch at 89, and inland temperatures about the same. We're going to see today about a 30% chance of some showers around this afternoon. Those showers building along the sea breeze front mostly. I don't think we'll see a lot of activity near the coastline. Is it impossible to see a shower or two? Yeah, we might see a shower or two near the coast, but it really is inland along that sea breeze front, pushing away from the coast where the majority of action will occur. Then as we head into the 7 o'clock period, about a 10% chance of showers as the showers continue to push away from us. And then as we head into 12 and 7, temperatures kind of falling down into the upper 70s with very little chance of rainfall overnight. However, by tomorrow morning, we could see showers again building close to the coastline as we'll have this westerly wind developing across the area. Heavy thunderstorm activity to the north of us. That thunderstorm activity continues at this hour. We'll be looking at those showers and thunderstorms continuing throughout the day. A few showers on the sea breeze front continuing to press into Hardee and DeSoto counties. None of them really heavy, but they're around and will be for the remainder, I think, of the next couple of hours. You can see that explosion of cloud to the north. Even some of the blow-off cloud cover moving through the area from time to time this morning. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us. We're kind of entering into another pattern across Florida. And that is with the high pressure ridge sinking south, we get this this westerly wind flow. And what that tends to do is build showers near the coast in the morning and then push them toward the other coast where they die out in the afternoon. We'll look for today, again, morning showers, and the next couple of days actually, morning showers near the coast, afternoon showers inland, and slightly cooler high temperatures because the winds are coming in off the water, not over the heated land. But that said, we're going to pick up a lot of moisture with those winds off the Gulf water, so it will be very, very muggy and feels like temperatures will feel kind of sticky out there. Across the region, we're looking at a west wind coming in at about 10 knots, and the forecast for the next couple of days features warm temperatures near the 90-degree mark. And then as we head into the weekend, I think it's quite possible that on Sunday we could pick up a little extra rainfall because of a trough of low pressure to the north, but there's still some question marks in that forecast, and we'll be refining it in the days to come. Then as we head into next week, pretty typical weather actually for summer as the winds shift once again and we start to see inland storms brewing in the afternoon and then drifting back to the coast as they die out toward the evening hours. Scott.
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart today, we know millions of Americans suffer from anxiety and depression, but did you know some of them haven't even gone to kindergarten yet? ABC's Stephanie Ramos explains in today's Medical Minute.
Between 10 and 15% of children and teens show depression symptoms at any one time. That's according to the Surgeon General's report. Up to 70% do not receive treatment, and some of them are preschoolers. A new study published in the American Journal of Psychiatry has a promising new treatment, a new emotional development module added to standard treatment for parents and children. It helps parents coach their children through tough emotions so they can manage their feelings better. Children in the study ages 3 to 6 either got this new combined treatment or were put on a wait list. When they evaluated children and parents for coping styles, stress levels, and how they dealt with negative emotions, the children with the treatment had improved with better emotional regulation and fewer of the disorders that accompany depression. It helped parents too. With this Medical Minute, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
Well, the number of adults smoking in the U.S. has now reached an all-time low. The CDC says 14% of U.S. adults reported they were smokers in 2017. That's down from 16% the year before and 20% back in 2006. But the number still translates to about 30 million people. The survey found men are more likely to smoke than women, and Hispanics were least likely to be smokers. Now to action in Washington that could impact the opioid epidemic that's been plaguing the Suncoast. The House has passed Congressman Vern Buchanan's bill that would create a national opioid patient database. It would make it easier for patients to access information on how to manage pain without risking addiction. The measure now goes to the Senate. No word on when a final version of the bill could be passed. Time now to head over to the kitchen and say hello to our guest today, sous chef Corey Miner, who joins us from Michael's on East in Sarasota. Corey, great to have you in our kitchen today. What's on your menu?
Great to be here. Thank you. Today we're going to be making a New Orleans-style blackened scallop with crawfish and tazo ham macachu.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years in a row. Get an all-new redesigned 2018 Ram 1500 for as little as $21,499. Or save big and get up to $13,000 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Florida Studio Theater presents Always Patsy Cline, extended due to popular demand. A tuneful tribute, the story of Patsy's rise to stardom is told by her biggest fan. Featuring such hit songs as Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, Crazy, and many more you know and love. Critics are calling Always Patsy Cline a genuine hit. Audiences are calling it outstanding. Always Patsy Cline is now playing. Tickets can be purchased at 941-366-9000 or floridastudiotheater.org.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
New developments in that case in California where police say 13 children were held captive in their home. They were finally rescued after one of the children managed to call 911. ABC's Kana Whitworth explains what we're learning now from that chilling phone call.
David and Louise Turpin appearing in court Wednesday, accused of abusing and torturing 12 of their 13 children. David with a much shorter haircut than when the couple was first arrested in January. He was taking notes while prosecutors played the chilling 911 call made by their 17-year-old daughter when she escaped the so-called House of Horrors. The girl can be heard struggling to spell her last name and give authorities her address. She tells the 911 operator, "My parents are abusive. They abuse us, and my two little sisters right now are chained up."
She obviously has the personality that she's gonna risk herself for others, and she did that. And she managed to get out, and we're very glad that she did.
The girl also telling the dispatcher she doesn't know what medication is, and when asked if she was in school, she says, "A fake school is set up. I haven't finished first grade, and I'm 17. Just 7 days before her harrowing efforts, she's seen here in a video posted on YouTube. Where is the key? There's also this video in which she's playing with one of the family's dogs. It shows the grime-smudged doors and the clothes piled in the back of the room. Her parents charged with 75 total counts, including torture, child endangerment, and false imprisonment. They have both pleaded not guilty to all charges, but if convicted, could face up to life in prison. All of the children were admitted to a hospital when they were rescued, many of them extremely malnourished. They're now living in separate homes in the area, and they communicate with each other using Skype. Doctors say they had to teach the older children basic life skills. Kana Whitworth, ABC News, Los Angeles.
All right, we're going to change gears now and head over to our kitchen. John is there with our guest today, sous chef Corey Miner from Michael's on East in Sarasota. John?
Always love having Michael's on East. And Corey, your first time here, so welcome to the studio.
Great to be here.
Good
Thank
to
you
have
so much
you
for
here.
having me.
And you're cooking up some scallops today, right? Tell us about the scallops again.
So today we're going to do some New Orleans style blackened scallops that we have right here. We're going to go right into our nice blackened spice here. That's going to be pepper and oregano and cayenne pepper, thyme, basil.
So I guess if you're doing a blackening spice, you're going to want to make sure you have a good range hood to do this.
Yes, you're definitely going to want a good range hood. It's going to get a little smoky.
Okay, no problem. Now, cooking scallops, there's good potential for fail there if you don't know what you're doing. I know I have ended up with a pan full of water sometimes when I have cooked scallops in the past. So how do you prevent that?
The way that I prevent it is just a real nice hot pan, a little towel or something to keep the scallops nice and dry.
Real dry surface. Do you have to completely thaw them out first? Is that
yes, absolutely. If you're starting with a frozen one, absolutely. They should be completely thawed and on some sort of towel.
Okay.
Then
now what you got going here?
Here we've got some kale that's going to be tossed with some garlic and salt, pepper, just real simple.
Okay. Oh, it smells good. It smells so good already.
Yeah.
So you do this at the same time, so I guess both things finishing things on time, everything coming out at the same time. Also a big trick.
Very important. So knowing the timing of things is very nice.
Beautiful.
But with a nice, beautiful sear, these things will finish cooking in another about 2 minutes or so.
And so you're using oil instead of butter on that? Would you recommend using oil?
I would. Oil has a much higher smoking point than butter, so the butter will burn in the amount of heat that you would need to actually sear your scallops nicely.
Don't want to do that. So when you get that nice crust like that, I'm guessing that the peppery flavors that you have in your spice there take on a kind of sweetness and less of a heat.
Absolutely. The pepper and all that heat is definitely going to mild out for sure, 100%.
Nice. And so you're, does this wilt down like a spinach or something?
A little bit slower, but yes, absolutely it does.
All right.
So we're just going to keep going that down, and that's why we started at the same time as the scallops, because it does take just a little bit longer than the spinach.
Now, I saw you sneaking over toward that oven. I know there's something good in there. What you got going on?
So in here we have some Cajun-style andouille sausage.
Yeah.
That's just going to be great little finisher and garnish for all of these scallops here.
Let the good times roll.
So here we're just going to take these and we're going to slice them up nice and thick. Nice big pieces. Be very generous with it.
What's that piece right here taste like?
Oh, go ahead and taste it.
Good stuff. Nice.
So we're going to kill the heat on this kale here. The scallops also just about done.
How do you know when they're done?
They will feel rather firm.
By feel? Yeah, you can tell by feel?
Just by the feel when they're soft. You can see over here while they're raw, they're real soft and squishy. When they're done, you can see as I touch with the tongue, there's very little give whatsoever. That means basically right there, they're done. So we're going to turn the heat right there.
You've done this before. Got about 30 seconds left.
So now we're going to start plating. In here we have the macachu, which is our Cajun Creole and andouille sausage and tazo ham stew.
And while you plate that up, I'll remind everybody that the recipe for this is on our website, mysuncoast.com, so you can jump on there, and all of the ingredients for the stew will be there, as well as the scallop recipe as well. So then you just top it off with a little kale.
Yep, little kale for color and obviously for its health benefits.
Of course. Then the beautiful scallops.
And our beautiful scallops, we'll just lay them down, 1, 2, and 3.
Now, is this on the menu at Michael's?
It is. It is on the menu for the next 2.5 weeks through the rest of the month.
Great. Top it with the sausage, and that is a meal and a half right there. Chef, thanks so much for coming. Oh, you're just finishing it with some of those
yeah, you got to have
onions.
a crunch.
Oh, I love that stuff. Oh, you guys make those up. They taste so good. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Very much so.
Come on back anytime.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Coming up, what's next for the families who were separated at the Mexican border, and what will Congress do today? Plus, gun control advocate Gabby Giffords talks to a downtown Sarasota rally. And a daring rescue, how a father was able to pull his son from a burning race car.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story today at 12:30, even after the president signed an executive order to stop the separation of families at the U.S.-Mexican border, the controversy over the treatment of those children continues. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest from a detention facility in California.
New video released by the Department of Homeland Security giving another inside look at some of the shelters housing children separated from their families at the border. The news media still not allowed access to photograph. More than 2,300 kids now waiting to learn when and how they'll be reunited with their parents.
This problem doesn't end today with the signing of an executive order saying that children won't be separated from their family. There are already thousands of children that have been affected by this, and it won't go away overnight.
Bianca Ortanes Lopez, who came here illegally seeking refuge from El Salvador, says she last spoke to her 8-year-old son Abel 2 months ago. Saying they just told me to say bye to him. To this day, I don't know where he went. She is still hoping for a moment like this. 10-year-old Samuel, separated from his father 8 months ago, finally reunited with his family in Guatemala. Doctors say there could be lasting impacts on these children, including on the youngest. Infants and toddlers being kept at so-called tender age shelters, like this one in Brownsville, Texas.
These children who are exposed to toxic stress do not develop language, do not develop their social emotional bonds. They don't develop their gross and fine motor skills, and they're at high risk for developmental delay in the short term.
And that is just one of the many concerns, with no plan in place for how these families will be reunited. Many of the parents have already been deported, and there's no one agency keeping track of where the adults and the children are right now. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, El Cajon, California.
Time magazine's latest cover shows a stark image of the Trump administration's separation of immigrant families at the border. The cover shows President Trump towering over the now iconic image of a sobbing immigrant girl recently separated from her parents. The illustration includes 3 words: "Welcome to America." While the U.S. is grappling with its immigration crisis, Hungary is pressing ahead with its own version of zero tolerance. The Hungarian parliament approved legislation to outlaw aid to migrants and refugees yesterday. This new law is expected to take effect over the next few weeks. Less than a month after his historic summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, President Trump is apparently gearing up for another high-profile meeting. Diplomatic sources familiar with the matter say President Trump plans to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin sometime in mid-July. Right around the same time, the president will be visiting the UK and the NATO summit. No official announcements have been made yet, but a diplomatic official says the meeting will likely take place in Vienna. Here on the Suncoast, an event is wrapping up at 5 Points Park in downtown Sarasota, where former U.S. Representative Gabby Giffords spoke to the community. Giffords has been an outspoken advocate for gun control since her attempted assassination while in office back in 2011. Giffords talked after several local students talked about their hope for change in future gun laws. And take a look at this. The Kilauea eruption in Hawaii is so large it can be seen from space. It's the orange glowing dot on the bottom right of your screen there. This was posted by astronaut Ricky Arnold from Texas, who's aboard the International Space Station. For weeks now, there has been a massive dust storm on Mars, and NASA's Curiosity rover managed to grab a pretty cool shot of what it looks like from the red planet. The rover's camera captured these images over the past few weeks. There's actually 2 rovers on the planet right now, and this one was not affected by the storm. The same cannot be said for the Opportunity rover, which has been off the grid and unreachable for more than a week. Here on Earth, there's likely not a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, but it's still a pretty cool thing to see. This is a circumhorizontal arc, more commonly known as a fire rainbow. The colorful display was seen in the skies over part of New Hampshire. The National Weather Service describes the phenomenon as a refraction of sunlight by ice crystals, which often happens in the summer there when the sun is very high in the sky, like today on the first day of summer.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, we get a lot of that around here.
Yeah.
Iridescence in clouds, because we get a lot of the high, thin, wispy clouds, the cirrus clouds composed of ice crystals, so oftentimes see that along the edges. It's pretty. Yeah, it's nice. Right, you know, it could be no rain in sight, very quiet day, and there you go. You look up and some beauty.
A mini rainbow.
Mini rainbow. It's lovely. Sky is always a wonderful, entertaining thing to look up at. We have across our region some clouds building across our skies right now. Lakewood Ranch webcam shows starting off with some pretty nice conditions, followed by the building clouds. Sea breeze front pushing inland, producing actually some rain showers at this hour, visible now on radar. Big thunderstorms to the north of us in the Big Bend region. There have been some persistent thunderstorms there that have the potential of producing some water spouts. Special marine warnings were issued for a severe thunderstorm out in the Gulf waters, but locally, no such animal. We have just a few scattered showers building along a line, which is our sea breeze front pushing inland, and I think we'll continue to watch those showers pushing away from shore. Again, red tide status showing now one location with intense red tide irritant in the air. Basically, from Siesta Key southward is where the worst of the red tide is visible, in the air, and I think we'll probably have a advisory issued later today for the red tide. We are looking at a little bit of cloud cover across the region and a chance of showers at about 30%. We'll detail that forecast in just a minute. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. New at noon, a father is being praised after a video has gone viral showing him jumping onto a racetrack to pull his son out of a burning race car. This all happening in the middle of the race. Siobhan McGrill is in Virginia with this incredible story.
Dean Jones was never into race cars, but when his son Mike fell in love, the Speedway became his second home.
I really enjoy watching him do something that he loves so much.
Spending Father's Day weekend at the track just made sense, but during the race, as his son was coming up on a turn, he crashed. Seconds later, flames engulfed the car. Mike could barely see or breathe. His dad was watching it all.
Didn't have time to be afraid. I had to get my son out that car.
Jones ran toward the growing fire.
When I saw the sparks fly, then I came and I jumped over the wall.
Pulled his son out and made sure he was okay.
I never doubted he wouldn't have been. If I had to place a bet on who would have showed up to the car first, I would have bet it was him.
That's because it's not the first time his dad has jumped over barriers for him. Flashback to his baseball days, 10 or 12 years old.
I had to play at the plate. I was catching. I got knocked out, and by the time I come to, he's there over me at home plate.
I jumped over the fence to make a beeline to him to make sure he's okay.
There's not a lot Jones wouldn't do for his kid. Knowing they could have lost that was scary.
I love you.
A Father's Day they won't soon forget. But for Jones, it's not really a one-day-a-year thing anyway.
I'm just a dad. Just a dad helping my son.
Brave father there. Jones says his car is totaled, but he is ready to get back on the track as soon as that car is rebuilt, and I'm sure Dad will be there watching. Here in the Suncoast, the days of waiting in long lines to pick up sandbags may be over in Manatee County. The county unveiling one of its 5 new sandbagging machines yesterday. Commissioners agreed to buy these machines back in April to help homeowners better prepare for potential flooding. Each machine can fill nearly 700 sandbags in just under an hour. Happening tonight, the Florida Department of Transportation wants to hear your thoughts on the possibility of more diverging diamonds coming to the Suncoast. FDOT already oversaw the installation of the diverging diamond at University Parkway, but now it looks like more could be on the way, including one at Fruitville Road and I-75. FDOT will host a public hearing tonight from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Selby Public Library in downtown Sarasota to give an update and answer any questions. The next diverging diamond interchanges could be coming to both Bee Ridge and Clark Road exits as well. An old Kmart store in Venice will soon be home to a popular grocery store chain. It's in the Jacaranda Plaza behind Bonefish Grill on the US 41 bypass. Benderson Development is bringing Lucky's Market and a Marshall store to the plaza. 9 years ago, that Kmart closed for good. That building has been empty ever since. No word yet on when construction on that Lucky's could begin. And the first steps are underway to demolish the historic Anna Maria Pier. Crews are doing the initial prep work on that pier, and they'll start taking it down beginning July 1st. That work should be done by September. After that, the process will begin to build a new pier, which should be done by the end of next year. Hurricane Irma damaged the pier beyond repair last September. It was first built way back in 1911. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how a new Supreme Court ruling could change the way you pay next time you shop online.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month. Or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Every time you purchase a fishing license or register your boat, you're helping to preserve our nation's coastlines, lakes, rivers, and streams, protecting memories for generations to come. Learn how your participation in boating and fishing can help the environment at takemefishing.org/conservation.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live. I live. She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Suncoast Charities for Children and Powerboat P1 encourages you to share the beach with our marine wildlife during the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Festival. You can share the beach with our amazing sea turtles by waiting until sunrise to set up. Stay clear of nesting areas for our beautiful birds, and please don't forget our beloved manatees. Never swim towards them, and always obey manatees' slow speed zones. Together, we can all enjoy the races and share the beach.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Temperature coming in at about 90 degrees by 3 p.m. We'll have about a 30% chance of showers. That'll mostly be in inland areas, but can't rule out completely an isolated shower near the coast. Sea breeze, though, will have pushed most of the showers inland. 87 degrees by about 7 p.m. And then as we head into the evening hours, things kind of wind down, except by tomorrow morning, probably see a few more showers right near the immediate coastline. Got heavy stuff going on to the north of us. It's been kind of persistent, but locally you can just see a line of showers building now in Hardee and DeSoto counties. And no light stuff for the most part, no lightning pops, all of it kind of drifting toward the other coast. I think as we head into the afternoon, later afternoon, we're going to see an explosion of storms occurring over on the other coast as that general trend will continue to push our west coast sea breeze over to the east coast, where it will encounter the east coast sea breeze, where things will really start going when they collide. And a little bit of cloud cover, of course, streaming by from time to time, but we also have those fair weather clouds that are locally grown. So it was the first day of summer. What does that mean? Well, pretty easy. The sun's rays shooting directly toward the earth are parallel to the surface of the earth, coming straight overhead, only in one place. And that place today was the Tropic of Cancer. That's the farthest north that the sun travels, where the rays are directly pointed down at the earth, as opposed to having any kind of an angle, sun being a little lower in the horizon. And from this point forward, because of the tilt of the earth, we'll start to watch the sun retreat back down over the equator and head to the south, where we get our fall and eventually our winter. So we're kind of seeing right now the hottest the sun gets for us. However, it takes, because of the oceans absorbing some of the heat, takes a little bit of lag time before we experience those warmer temperatures. For us, plenty warm enough today, showers lining up along our coast and then being pushed toward the other coast by this general westerly wind around the top side of a high-pressure ridge sinking south. That's a pattern that we'll get for the next 3 or 4 days anyway. A little bit of morning showers near the coast, and then everything is pushed inland. For boating, not too bad. Watch out for a few scattered showers out in the Gulf there. West wind coming in at about 10. You have a light chop and 2-foot seas. And the forecast looks pretty good, actually. Over the next several days, we have a chance of rain each and every day on this first day of summer. The only thing is, even though the temperatures are going to be perhaps a little bit lower than we have seen, the west wind picks up a lot of moisture in the form of sea foam and whatever, picks that moisture up into the air and then slings it back over land, where it really does kick up those heat indexes. So it's going to feel plenty muggy, plenty steamy as we head into the weekend. Maybe a better chance of rainfall Sunday into Monday with a little trough of low pressure. We'll be refining that forecast as days go by. Tuesday and Wednesday, the pattern reverses. Inland storms drift to the coast. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, the world's largest movie theater chain, AMC, announcing a new program where you'll be able to see up to 3 movies a week for under $20 a month. This directly competes with the popular Movie Pass. ABC's TJ Holmes explains how you could save big at the box office this summer.
Summertime, the time for Hollywood blockbusters.
But this does put a smile on my face.
But those ticket prices are steadily rising, and many people are turning to Movie Pass.
Then I'm going to be really, really poor.
Not necessarily.
That all-access membership where subscribers see all the movies they want for just $9.95 a month.
Why would they change math? Math is math. Math is math.
But now, the world's largest movie chain, AMC, wants in on that action, launching its own bingeable box office app. Beginning Tuesday, A-listers can opt to pay $19.95 a month to see 3 movies a week, which MoviePass points out is twice its current price and for just 1 theater chain. Telling ABC News, it's important to recognize that they will only be able to service 23% of the nation's theaters, and MoviePass subscribers get a better deal in more than 91% of them, including AMC. But some experts say AMC's new model makes up for the price with extra perks.
MoviePass doesn't let you see a movie you like more than once. You can do that now at AMC. MoviePass doesn't let you see IMAX or 3D movies. You can do that at AMC. MoviePass limits you to 1 movie per day. If you want to go see 3 movies in a day at AMC now, with the service starting on Tuesday, you can do that.
Whichever company comes out on top, theaters hope that will drive movie lovers back to the cinema, where attendance last year was the worst in 25 years. And the experts say the battle could mean it'll only get easier and cheaper for you to head to the movies again and again.
That was TJ Holmes reporting. The Supreme Court ruling today, states can now collect sales tax from online retailers. The decision will boost state revenues at the expense of consumers who have avoided sales taxes in the past. The 5-4 decision overturned a previous decision by the High Court back in 1992 that said companies without a physical presence in a state did not have to collect sales taxes there. Right now, most of the top 20 online sellers already collect taxes in nearly all states. The super fast new network coming soon to your phone could do a lot more than just speed up your apps and service. 5G is lightning quick. Industry experts expect it to make your phone 10 times faster than 4G. But what else is possible? Well, researchers at King's College in London are thinking about remote surgery with virtual reality gloves, paving the way for doctors to operate on a patient on the other side of the world via a robot, or even powering self-driving cars and smart cities. Right now, wireless companies are testing 5G network technology, which is expected to launch sometime in the year 2020. Delta Airlines is updating its support animal policy. The Georgia-based airline will limit passengers to one emotional support animal per customer per flight starting July 10th. The airline is also no longer accepting pit bull type dogs as service or support animals. Delta says the updates are the direct result of growing safety concerns following recent incidents where several employees were bitten by dogs. Still to come in your Suncoast News, rock legend Paul McCartney releasing new music when he plans to come out with his next new album.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
The summer sizzles at the Players Center with the opening of Crossing Delancey. City cultures collide in this charming play about a young woman searching for love and the New York dream. Opening June 14th, call 365-2494 or visit theplayers.org. Get your tickets to the perfect romantic comedy, Crossing Delancey.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
In entertainment news, a familiar fighter back on the big screen, a tribute to a music icon and a cheap way to keep the kids entertained this summer. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
People like me, we live in the past. You got people that need you now. You got everything to lose. This guy's got nothing to lose.
I ain't got a choice.
Here's your first look at Creed 2, as Michael B. Jordan's Adonis Creed once again looks to Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa to train him for a seemingly unwinnable fight. This one with an opponent with an ominously familiar name. The bell rings for Creed 2 in November. When the heavy metal band Bad Wolves decided to cover the Cranberries' hit Zombie, they asked Cranberries frontwoman Dolores O'Riordan to record vocals for the song. Shockingly, O'Riordan died the day she was set to record. Bad Wolves released the song without her vocals, and at a New York show this week, they donated their proceeds from the track, $250,000, to her 4 children.
Yes! Overpriced coffee. That's $37. Awesome!
If you're looking for a cheap way to keep your kids occupied this summer, Regal Cinemas has a solution. The chain's Summer Movie Express offers matinees of such family films as The Lego Movie, Despicable Me and Despicable Me 2, Sing, and plenty of others, 2 mornings a week. Tickets, $1 each, though popcorn does cost extra. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Coco, the gorilla who mastered sign language, has died. The Gorilla Foundation reports she passed away Wednesday in her sleep. Coco was a western lowland gorilla born in 1971 at the San Francisco Zoo. A graduate student began teaching Coco to sign a year later, and then she eventually used and understood hundreds of English words. Coco's communication skills were widely reported in the media and appearing on the cover of National Geographic twice. Coco was 46 years old. Former Beatle Paul McCartney has released some new music. He says he's got more on the way. The 76-year-old releasing 2 new singles called I Don't Know and Come On To Me. His first album in 5 years will be out on September 7th, and it will be called Egypt Station. This will be the rock legend's 17th studio album. Finally, this is National Selfie Day, because we never take those. The self-portraits made famous by millennials everywhere have become so popular the word selfie is now in the Oxford Dictionary. So grab your selfie stick or just hold out your phone and snap a shot. Or gather some friends and take one of the newer forms of a selfie, which is called a groupie. Don't forget to share your handiwork on your favorite social media platform. So, John, you ready? I've got my camera.
I'm going to take one of you taking one of me.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Hey, that's good TV right there. Post that on our website, right?
Yeah, right.
Funny stuff.
Live on the air. I think that's our first selfie live on the air.
I think
right?
so.
Yeah.
Can I just real quick tell you a related story about Coco? I love that. Coco was not taught a sign for watermelon, one of her favorite food, so she made up the sentence, Sweetwater candy.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Didn't know that. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Are you a Christian author with a book that you're ready to share with the world, but need a publisher? Christian Faith Publishing, America's largest Christian publisher, cuts through the confusion. We'll handle all the complicated publishing issues like copyrights, barcodes, royalties, digital conversions, and more. We publish all types of books, and will place your book for sale at all major booksellers like Amazon, Apple, Google, and Barnes & Noble, offering it to millions.
Call for your free author submission kit at 1-800-954-0732.
Iguanas only reproduce 1 month out of the year.
That's because they suffer from erectile dysfunction.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, what color represents the lowest threat level?
Is Caucasian a color?
Which casino game has the best odds for a payout?
The ATM.
Funny you should ask.
Weekdays at 4:30 and 11:30 on ABC 7.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Download the all-new ABC 7 First Alert weather app now.